Welcome back
to another episode of
Sarcastically Serious.
I'm your co-host Shaun.
And I'm James.
And this is gay as fuck.
Let's go.
It works.
Yeah, that works for me.
Alright, plug your shit up.
Alright, phone's dying, so we're plugging up.
Continue, Shaun. So,
oh god, I got to disconnect.
Oh, thank goodness. Now we're all alone. I've been waiting. Oh fuck, he's back.
Just plugged back in.
Thought
so
we
can
had
look
more
up later.
time. What?
Huh? What?
No, nothing.
I wasn't listening.
All right.
Usual.
So, real quick. No, it's not going to be quick. Do you want to start off with your rambles?
Yeah, let's start off with me rambling. Shaun was so gracious to edit out me talking to myself.
You asked me to edit it out.
I did.
I was going to leave the shit in because I thought it was fucking hilarious.
You probably could. We could use it for
bloopers.
Little skits.
Absolutely.
Because you're like, what the fuck is he saying?
This motherfucker
He's just talking into the mic like, hey guys, everybody's listening, so let me go ahead and tell you about my day.
No, it was worse than that.
I wasn't sorry.
All right.
I'm in my Sunday best over here.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I dressed for Antarctica, and Shaun comes down here dressed for the fucking beach.
Hell yeah. Even wearing some, what are these things? Hey, dudes. Yeah.
So, is your neighbor starting an RV park next door?
Dude. This
shit keeps showing up to their house.
I know.
I was like, they got a camper now. Cool. I guess they gave up on the pool since their greenhouse collapsed on it.
Yeah, but the liner's not ripped. It's good. Where we were looking at it thinking the liner was ripped was actually a reflection of the fence. And in the reflection, it looked like concrete.
Right.
It's funny.
Had a weird thing going on with it.
Yeah. So, and I was looking at it one day until I seen ripples going through the water. I was like, oh.
It's not torn. Yeah, so I was driving up to Shaun's mansion here, and I noticed there was a older camper sitting out in their driveway. But these people...
Why do you gotta say older, man? It's like you're talking down about them already.
I am.
You bougie bitch.
I am bougie.
Well, I'm even more bougie. That's why I had you park across the street.
He's like, go park in the neighbor's yard 6 acres over.
No.
And now they're going to tow my shit with their private security they have running around.
Oh, my gosh. No, we were having groceries delivered, and it's kind of sprinkling raining, so wanted to let them
get
as
want to tip
close
them that much
to the front door as possible. I'm cheap, bro.
I know.
How do you think I afford all this?
I know. You have shit delivered. That's how cheap you are.
Fuck you. Time is money.
It is money.
Yep.
And my time is very valuable.
Exactly. Me too. That's why I have that shit delivered. I told you, bitch.
It's hot in here, Shaun. God,
it's just because I'm in here.
All right, let's see what's in James's pockets. We got some energy.
Pocket dump.
We got some Zen. We got some AirPods, and we got some more Zen for backup.
I don't see a firearm yet, James. You failed at life.
Is there one? No, there's not one in Missy's car. Both of them are in my truck.
Yep, fail at life.
Now I'm really going to look homeless.
And you had the perfect opportunity. I was waiting for you to take advantage of it.
What's that?
For you to go. I got a firearm right here.
Are there any behind me?
You tell me.
No. Shaun doesn't own any guns.
No, you're right. I don't.
Don't break into his house and steal them.
That's what you had concealed in your pants right there.
Oh, this?
In your holster.
This is the one I played with.
Yeah.
Came over last time, right?
Yeah.
It's all cheap and plasticky.
Yeah. Anyways.
So Shaun just got off work. Yeah. Another 12-hour shift at the Walmarts.
Yeah.
In the little boys section. Packaging some meat. Some big, some small. Got to make sure it's fresh. Whistling Dixie?
Herbert Pervert.
Oh.
Got some popsicles in my salad. I can't make my voice clear.
Hey, Chris.
There you go. Dude,
those pants sure are tight on you.
It's because I'm fat. It's because I'm fat and ugly, old man. Oh.
Everybody loves Family Guy.
Oh, yeah.
But take it to the extreme, though. Because we grew up on...
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead.
Garbage Pail
Simpsons.
Kids.
The Simpsons were the mainstream, and they kind of
for
pushed
your
it.
age,
Yeah,
for my age.
Well, Beavis and Butthead I watched
Grew up on motherfucking G.I. Joes, bitch.
Yeah, I played with G.I. Joes. Middle school? No, elementary school.
Played with this Joe.
That's a mini G.I. Joe.
Joe Mama.
Yo, mama.
Joe Mama.
I should have eaten before I got here, but I was hungry as hell.
I got some meat you can eat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Beanie weenies.
Yeah.
But you have some items you want to talk about, sir, before I bring up
Well,
my ramditions and rambling?
I was just taking a shower and
Please describe it.
had this conversation
With yourself?
like a tuna can. Had this conversation the other day with one of my children's.
Why do you talk to your kids?
Fuck, I don't know. I'm still wondering that. But kids are disgusting. Like, you think about just how they touch everything and then put their fingers in every orifice of themselves, like I do in the shower. But no, but they talk to each other in the locker room and shit, and like so many of them don't wash their feet. Water running over their feet's good.
Mm.
That's disgusting.
I did that forever.
That is
disgusting. You washed your feet as a kid?
I don't remember as a kid,
You did.
but I'm talking as a teenager. Yes.
I didn't.
Yes. 100%.
My feet didn't start stinking until I became an adult.
Oh no, mine.
I would say how old am I now? 37.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, 37.
37. So I would say the last
Fuck.
12 to 15 years.
No, bitch, you're 36. No, you're 37.
37.
Yeah.
37.
Was it right on the birthday cake that night?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention.
Shot. Everybody.
You getting banned on TikTok on top of that. But no, I didn't start washing my feet. I didn't have a body odor issue, which I wore deodorant in middle school all the way to now.
Yeah.
But I didn't really start stinking. It may have something to do with my diet or me just, aging or whatever. But I wasn't a stinky kid. I wasn't a sweaty kid. Like I remember in middle school specifically, which the demographics of most of the kids I played with were Hispanic kids in Texas, and we would play soccer because that was the main sport, or football, and they would be pouring sweat like their dads were laying fucking cinder blocks at work.
That wasn't racist at all.
It wasn't. Huh. But no, they were sweaty. And me, yeah, I sweated a little bit, but I wasn't a sweaty kid. And until I was probably 25.
Maria!
Yeah. I'll throw age out there. 25, I started not sweating more, just I started stinking. I noticed if I missed a day of wearing deodorant or my feet stink now, that's the biggest thing. If I take my socks off, if I take my shoes off when I'm at someone else's house, I'm like embarrassed because they stink.
All right, so two things for that. One, I'll let you in on a little secret.
I'll tell you my secret if you tell me yours.
It's called take a fucking shower, bitch. Oh. No, oily skin plays a big contributing factor in that. So, like Hispanics, I'm New Mexican, right? So, we look like y'all, but we're not. We're
right.
Mi verga muy caliente por el mundo, de lo más way pinche joto. So, if someone speaks
I like tacos
hey,
too.
we got people that listen in Mexico, and they're gonna listen to that shit. Te gusta la chupa la verga. So, anyways.
See.
I see you.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, dude, I have really oily skin. So, if I don't, bathe well, hygiene, all that shit, boy, I stink. So, especially when I shit myself.
I bet. And my phone's going off in the background.
Yeah, fuck that phone. Fuck them
What about
kids.
kids being stinky and all that?
All right, so one of my kids was like, because they were talking about whatever.
Hey, smell my finger.
And no, they're way past that age. I'd punch them in the fucking face, boy, girl, I don't care. But so she's like, my kid was telling me the locker room talk, and I was like, that's disgusting. And my kid goes, so you wash You like in between your toes, like every time you shower? Yes, absolutely. I have a routine, and it goes from here to there, head to toes. I mean, I'm religious about it, and my loofah that I use doesn't go in my armpits, my groin, my ass,
Damn,
my
you're
feet.
specific.
I am. But I don't want it to be in those places and then scrub my face with it. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't use anything to scrub my face up my hands.
But
My hands are rough enough.
so as soon as no shit. So as soon as I get in the shower, first thing I do is to wash my hands. So my hands are clean. Then loofah, and I do everything. And then once I'm done with that, and then I get then I do my hands with soap and do my armpits, my groin, my ass, and my feet. And each time I wash my hands
That's
off
specific.
again in that order.
Because I have a systematic to me taking a shower too.
So after
yours is
the
way more
loofah,
specific.
and then we have a back loofah thing. I do that, and then I get done with that, and then I do my armpits. And then I wash my hands off. I get more soap. I do my groin.
That's too much.
Wash my hands. It's just what I do every fucking time. And
when we take a shower next time together, I'll show you how I do mine.
okay, but it was humorous to me that you wash in between your toes like every time.
Who
Like,
asked this?
yes, I'm not gonna put them on blast.
Oh, okay.
So, anyways, it was.
You wash your balls every time you take
yes,
a shower?
every time.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Some girls are into that.
no,
stank.
and that's what I'm sitting there thinking. Like, if it's little girls that's saying this shit, so you don't wash in between your toes every time, or you don't wash your feet at all. You let water run over them, but you scrub your asshole out so your boyfriend can eat it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, to me, it's like, where in the fuck are you at on this scale here? Because you're way tipping the crazy side. Mm-hmm. I just don't get that. Like, that's abnormal. Like, you don't wash your feet, but you scrub your ass.
I didn't do it as a teenager or a kid.
I did. But like I said, I was a very oily kid.
Right.
You know, growing up. My skin didn't start drying out until my adult years. So I was always like shiny like Hispanics. Just
Briscoed up.
Just the newer style.
Yeah. The less dark complected version.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't a stinky kid. Well, I wasn't a stinky kid. I really didn't start sweating, which I guess you could say, I don't know if puberty played a part in that, because I'm not a hairy person at all. Obviously, you have way more facial bodily hair.
Yeah. Austin. Fuck, what the fuck was his name? Austin Powers, bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Golly.
Heady. Yeah, that rug on the front.
Yeah, and back. And butt. And legs.
Yeah, I'm thankful, because I think hairy asses is such a
turn on. I know. That's why every time you're like,
yeah,
muy peludo.
It gets stuck between my teeth like floss, and I pull
you're
that
like,
shit out.
But
you are jacked up on caffeine this morning.
I told you. I said,
Shaun is wide open. So Shaun stayed up 48 hours ago for 20 plus hours, pretty much a whole day.
25
He did house projects, and then called me, and then we were setting this up on our schedule. And he's like, yeah, I'm going into work. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Then I went to work 12 hours.
He's a trooper, because I give it to him, because he's over 40 and he's able to do that. And fuck, I'm not even hitting 40, and I know I can't do that. That's why I keep telling Bissy, I'm like, I don't know how he does it. I'm like, that's just taking years off his life.
Yeah, dude. My quality of life when I get older is going to be garbage. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not going to be able to hang. I mean, just.
But you're doing it right now. That's what's impressive. Is if you're able to do that and not do it with any kind of extra stimulants besides caffeine, like, that's impressive. Hey, man.
Dude, I would love to, especially for this weight loss diet, which I totally fucked up last night with all that creamer.
Crunching baby numbers. It's the long-term thing.
What do you?
You're so wrapped. No, lint.
Oh, I was like,
lint flying around.
What the fuck? I brushed my teeth.
We got the sun over here, so it shows everything.
I brushed my teeth, bitch, and you're over here like, damn, your breath stinks.
Look, there's another one right here.
Oh, yeah.
It's just driving me nuts.
Oh, right my eye. I'm just kidding.
That wasn't the lint.
Oh.
No, so I wasn't a stinky kid, and but my kids have been so awesome to get. They have my adult version of stinky feet. at ages 10 and 3.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Abigail's feet reek
It's
after a long day of soccer.
You need to buy them more shoes. Them wearing one pair of shoes for
You tell me where the hell I'm put them in a camper.
2 or 3 years, James. Their feet are gonna
They
stink.
have a closet. You know, if we stood this table upright, they have every fucking shelf full of shoes. I have like 3 pairs of shoes. I got on my Skechers versions. These are my only clean shoes I have in the house right now. And they're my old man shoes because I spent the last few days working on the house. It's been muddy down there and dirty. And I'm terrible but not wearing boots because my feet sweat and they stink. But Abigail's soccer coach gave me probably I was kind of dumbfounded when he told me it, and I was like, that makes perfect sense. Why has it taken me 37 years or 36 years at the time to figure that out? And he's like, I was telling him that we're talking about feet and stinking randomly at a practice.
Talk about this to every other man.
Yeah.
So I'm not special.
You're not special. I'm sorry. I'm open like a book. Dude.
Now that you pointed it out.
Dude, you need to call Maria in here. You need to dust this bitch.
Maria!
But no, he was talking about...
Más trabajo, puto!
I was telling him about how I had to change... We're talking about Abigail's feet stinking or whatever.
And you're like, she gets it from me.
Yeah. And I was telling him that my feet... Like, I change my socks religiously twice a day because they stink so bad.
See, that's fucking weird.
And my feet will break out. They'll actually crack open and all that shit. They dry out real bad.
Athlete's foot.
Yeah, I know. And that's the cure it for me. 1 is washing my feet, but 2 is changing my socks twice a day.
I got you, boo.
And then he's like, "Why don't you just put deodorant on your feet?"
And you were like,
I'm like, "Huh?" He's like, "It's the same concept. It's It's an antiperspirant that you put on the bottom of your feet. You know, it's the same thing as like you can put it over your whole body and you won't sweat."
So does it work?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I put deodorant on the bottom of my feet, just 2 swipes at it, slide my socks on, go about my day, and I would say it cuts down my sweat and stink probably 50%.
Nice.
Yeah, like it's.
But
I think the chemicals in it has caused my feet to dry out because it's keeping it dry.
Uh-huh.
So whatever the reaction is with my skin,
yeah,
I don't have that issue with my pits. But I don't know, maybe just because they're not fully cured of athlete's foot.
I'm trying to remember what in the fuck this shit is. It's some kind of tree oil extract shit that I use on my feet for athlete's foot. Fucking knocks it out in a week. So every day you get in the shower.
You talking about Dr. Teal's lotion or something?
No. This
I do some of that.
This was some weird shit. It's like $20 for a bottle that my daughter's hijacked, like every fucking thing else. And but every time I get athlete's foot, I use this shit. It doesn't dry your feet out. It keeps it moisturized, obviously, because it's some type of oil. It smells strong as fuck, like peppermint. Oh, it's got peppermint leaves in it. And but yeah, you just use that to wash your feet instead of soap. So, and for me, it's perfect because I wash my feet last. So, do all that, and then I would use that, wash my feet, and then I would use my soap to wash my hands, and then get the fuck out. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it works great. It's like $20 for a bottle, this fucking tall, and get it on Amazon. I'll put a link to it. Yeah.
So make sure you get some credit off of it. Put a link to your cart where you get a percentage. Isn't that how that works?
Yeah,
on those YouTube videos?
But I have to set up a store.
I got you.
And I have to buy the items or e-commerce store, and that way I don't even have to deal with the product.
Right.
But I don't have all that shit. Maybe one day we'll indulge in that.
Right.
And
when we get some sponsors.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we're doing fucking sponsorship ads. I was listening to Two Bears One Cave last night.
Which episode?
God, like the newest one, the one they just came out yesterday.
Who was in it?
Just Bert and
just him.
Tom.
Gotcha. Was he going over their guide to life or whatever?
Yeah, something like that. So I only got about halfway through it, but fuck, the first half of it, they probably done 15 fucking commercials.
For shit they don't want to do because you hear it in their voice.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's talking about Advanced Auto Parts was one of them. Hims,
Big money.
which they've done a bunch.
Yeah, they think they did AutoZone.
No,
Or-
Advanced Auto
It
Parts.
was
I
Advanced.
just said it, bitch.
I'm sorry. It's all the same shit. It's probably all the same companies.
But yeah. So, anyways, it just
Dude, this lint is killing me. It's just flying everywhere.
Dude, will you quit being a bitch?
Golly. This
don't
place
even-
is so dirty
you
for
don't even
such
wash
a dirty guy like you.
You don't even wash your
dirty
ass.
fuck. But no, I started using deodorant on my feet, and I was like, holy shit, it's annoying having to grab a stick of deodorant and sit down, and because I don't like the feeling. I don't like that. I like my feet being dry. I don't know, it's weird.
But would you rather do that or have stinky ass feet and 2 pairs of socks a day?
Well, I still do 2 pairs of socks either way.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I bet Misty hates you.
She does. I have like a drawer of socks, and I go through socks quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't like old. Well, I got plenty of them, but old shitty socks. I like thick, comfy socks.
You like
I sweat probably because they're thick.
Prince? You wear one pair of socks and throw it away?
No.
He did that with underwear.
No, I'll go a few months.
Wear a brand new pair of underwear and throw it away. And you take it off.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
When you got money like that,
yeah.
you're right behind them, Shaun.
No,
You got holy underwear.
no, I'm in front of
You got
him.
some raggedy ass underwear.
Grab my ankles, man.
Wait,
Fuck
see,
you.
that's why we need a green screen so we can post up your underwear right here.
I would not put
The
that.
shit, like when you have like
online.
old ass underwear and the whole little stretch band is all wrinkly because they're so fucking old. That's what Shaun's
No,
underwear
it's
looks
because I
like.
got fat and gained weight and stretched them
That's
out.
bullshit.
I'm losing weight though.
He borrowed his son's underwear.
No, are you? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, are you kidding me? They would be, yeah. Gotcha.
So, it was nice. I told you about it. One of cousins, well, I guess she's technically our cousin now, but our cousin's wife, she's reaching out to me, which, by the way, you didn't call me.
You're on blast.
Yeah, you're on blast. I won't name any names, Katie, but she mentioned she enjoyed the podcast. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I don't know her very well. I've met her, had a few conversations with her, went to her wedding. Well, we did.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have thought this content she would be anywhere near interested in it. But she
I didn't
mentioned,
go.
You didn't go to the wedding?
No,
Oh, did you stay back?
I was working.
Yeah. So Sean's family went, and we went up to Indiana to my cousin's wedding, and a beautiful wedding. But I never pictured her. She's a country girl, loved horses, all that crap. They run a farm or a ranch or however. Farm.
Either one. Don't
he's
overlook
farming. Yeah. And
Or overthink.
but I would have never figured that she would be anything interested. And she's like, "Oh, it's hilarious," and this and that. I'm like, "Okay, thanks, cool." But they're looking at building a house, and they was reaching out for some information since I'm the local expert.
Yeah. Speaking of which, who just sold his group?
Yeah.
We won't get too
I don't
specific.
know if we should cover that because I don't know the legality behind it.
That's what I'm saying. We won't get too specific. But
So on a major social platform, I ended up selling a group.
that was specific for house building.
Yeah, specifically house building to a contracting company or supply house of some sort.
Whatever.
In a different state, which was very neat because I've always wanted to venture off and do these things.
So the cool part was you created a page that had that big of a following.
Yeah.
And
And if I would have pushed it harder, it could have been probably one of the biggest pages.
yeah,
One of the biggest pages
but not just
that is tailored to that specific style of building.
But not just that, man. You know, just creating it and making a space for folks to get
Community.
information and yeah. And then you got this company like, hey, are you interested in selling this page? And you're like, sure. And then they throw out X amount of dollars. Like, would you take this for it? Well, fuck. Immediately I know we can go higher because you're starting there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, wow. And the offer right off the rip was impressive.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked when you told me. I was like, motherfucker, let's
Right.
talk.
Yeah. So long story short, I'll probably end up starting one or two more,
Yeah.
letting them build up over time.
Fuck yeah.
and I'm gonna try to tailor them to state. So when I could concentrate on demographics for companies that only work in specific areas and things like that.
New side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
You only have 50.
Yeah, 50 states to work with.
But, no, I was talking about side hustles.
Oh, yeah. That's getting stretched thin.
Yeah, but, I mean, you already are, but you enjoy that. And I said that the other day. That the busy chaos is your calm. And that's just
I like my brain
going 24/7.
I like it going every direction at all times.
And that's why you
it's
do
a love-hate
everything
relationship.
shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Like your house.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of the house, plumbing's in. That's great.
Fucking
we got
A.
backfilled.
We talked about that already. Plumbing in.
Yeah,
but
plumbing's in.
But
got
you
it backfilled. Yeah, all that's done. One thing that I ended up speaking with the inspector I'm hiring, or the engineering firm I hired. I'm having issues with the flooring, so I'm doing radiant flooring in my house, which is basically a continuous PEX tube system. That is a what's it called? Damn, I can't think of the word. Zones. Each zone. So we'll just say we have 4 zones in the house, equally broken up. You have to put insulation so you could recoup or gain full thermal break from the outside, from the soil. So polystyrene, which is like a 2-inch polystyrene, something similar that you buy at Home Depot, the pink board. I'm not allowed to use it, and I had him actually explain it, because I had the county not explain it to me, but they say, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that," and they wouldn't tell me why. Oh, termites. I get that, but if termites are in my under slab insulation, won't they be in the rest of my house already? So I'm shit out of luck, and I just need to treat it the best I can. But they never told me that. Well, I had this guy who I'm paying for his time, so he broke it down to me of when, where, and why. And he's like, "This is why you don't see it here and you see it somewhere else." We'll just say northern and out in the Midwest. One, it's colder, so they could actually get full R value for it. But also, they don't have termites up there. They do, but not
like
the way
we
the
do
South
down
does.
here. Right.
Yeah, the South, like the more and more I look at my property and I'm just driving around picking up sticks and shit, do maintenance, trees are getting eaten up left and right around my house. I'm like, holy shit, it is that bad of an issue. Yeah. But he told me that I need to, if I am putting insulation down, that has to be termite resistant, termite proof, termite something. And I'm like, oh, cool. So that's, I know of a product that might work, and it's fucking expensive.
It's gasoline.
Yeah.
And you just light it on fire and burn it.
I was thinking you could, most houses, obviously yours is a little different, but on a slab grade, they'll do a pre-treatment before you pour.
Yeah.
And do, the bait stations around the house like normal.
Yeah.
But I figured that would be my solution. But he's like, no. He's like, those help. He's like, but that doesn't stop anything.
Wow.
So I got to find out another system. And it's going to be more money, which is fine.
Yay. You got it, bro.
Yeah. I'll just borrow some from you.
Just tell me what you need. I'll write a check.
So enough about me and more about you, Shaun.
Huh.
Tell me how you're feeling, sir.
I'm fucking jacked up, bitch.
Jacked up on caffeine.
Yeah, I am.
Let's cover some of these bullshit subjects we wrote down.
I drank like 17 fucking cups of coffee.
17 cups of creamer.
Yeah, no shit. I drank so much, I fucking ruined my diet. All right. You seen the video, right, of Kameron kicking in his door?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
I wish I'd have showed it to you. I figured he would have sent it to you.
Where's your phone?
It's recording.
Can I access it anywhere? Is it on anything?
It's on TikTok. Your phone's over there. Yep. So here, let me see. Or get the TikTok first. And then let me see. So anyways, so my eldest
What does TikTok look like?
son. Looks like a...
Tells you how much I play.
Oh my gosh. There you go.
The hell's that?
It's the video that started playing. Yeah.
Tells you how TikTok advanced I am.
Oh, you're following him, so...
I think you and him are the only people I follow.
All right.
Let's do reactions.
So, right here. Here we go. You ready?
Okay. What did he knock off?
The ring,
Oh.
obviously.
And why is he doing this?
Oh. Listen.
But if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
The fuck?
Please open the fuck up.
All right, so here.
Cameron, you need to bag that firewood. Quit fucking around with this door.
So let me just set the
Set the
atmosphere-
scene up.
Set the atmosphere here. So Cameron bought those really nice, expensive door locks for his house.
Did
right? Yeah. So the ones that connect to Alexa and touch screen and all this shit.
Yeah, picks up on SpaceX.
Yeah. So 14 months after he put them in, the batteries are done, and they didn't change the batteries. Imagine that. So now you need a key. Well, guess what? Neither him or his wife carry because it's so fancy, and they can just tell their phone, Alexa, open my door, and it opens. So he's like, sends a text to the family chat, and he's like, whatever, anybody gonna be home?
I'm stuck out of my house.
Yeah. And that we have a spare key here. So it's like,
For his house.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, come by and get it. Well, then he gets off. She gets off work. He gets off work. He gets to the house. I guess he tries to see if any windows are open. We live 8-10 minutes away, tops. So instead of driving over here to get the spare key
Door's cheaper.
and have his wife wait and son wait in a car for 20 minutes tops, he gets a mall sledgehammer, same shit, and busts in his fucking door. And what was funny was the Ring camera. It's picking this up. And so he walks up. First hit, the Ring camera falls to the ground, but in perfect view of him blasting in the front door. Kicks, knocks the front door in. And as soon as he knocks the door in and he starts to step through the threshold, the fucking Ring camera just randomly, but if you would like to leave a message, please. And it was perfect. It was on cue.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, please open up.
That would have been funny if he
or some
knocks
shit.
the door in and goes click click and locks for him right after he knocks
Well,
it in.
but the problem is, not only did he kill the door and the casing, both locks, they're fucking trash now.
Awesome.
So
$800 fucking repair bill.
Well, he didn't replace it with that fancy shit. He just put some regular knobs on it this time. So, but I think that in the doorknob itself, like that whole setup he had, that was like $300 something. So,
Way to go, kid.
that's trash. And he just got it 14 months ago. Fucking retard.
Yeah, we're not ripping on you, Cameron. We're just pointing out facts.
Yeah, retard motherfucker. I love him. He's young. And, golly. And I know we used to do stupid shit like that, but I just can't remember. I mean, I know. All right, I remember plenty of dumb shit I did. But stuff like that, like, I just don't remember doing it.
Well, everything's being recorded now, especially him, and especially the generation,
Yeah.
him and below, and
Dude,
somewhere in between us
If there
and
were
him.
cameras when I was growing up like
Oh,
this
dude, we would-
everywhere, I would be in jail
Yeah,
for life.
we wouldn't get away with nowhere near the shit that we did.
I wouldn't have met your sister. I wouldn't have had kids. I mean, because I did.
You'd be one of those guys being interviewed on Soft White Underbelly.
Yeah. I did some I did some really fucked up shit. You know how I share stories with my kids, and if this sets the tone for you at all, one of my kids asked me the other day, Dad, I gotta ask you a serious question. Yeah. All the stuff you've done in the past that you told us, I'm like, yeah. Like, you ever shot anybody or killed anybody? Next subject.
Don't ask, don't tell.
And that was how I left it. Next subject. Like, we're not getting in this conversation. Like, just, we're not. And he was like, no, I'm serious. I said, I'm serious too. Our conversation just ended. And you got a new topic? Let's talk. If not, we're moving on.
Right.
And he's like, and I was just like, I don't even want to get into all that shit. But I did a lot of dumb shit when I was younger.
Yep.
I don't regret any of it. I feel bad for a lot of stuff I've done. But I was thinking about when me and you dumped that car. Do you remember that?
Yeah. No, this is how much of a great influence Shaun is.
Fuck you.
Of a young teenager. Shaun was probably early 20s.
Yeah.
Were you early 20s
Yeah.
probably? Yeah, I was in high school. Yeah. And I don't know what so my dad
It was your ex-girlfriend's car. Remember it fucking
it was neon.
totally took a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is during the time, the story I told about my girlfriend that was living with me while I was in high school at my dad's place, at a house that had, he ran a construction company, had all kinds of vehicles, equipment, just most of it junk, but a lot of the stuff, when I needed to go somewhere and I wanted to go somewhere and I didn't have any money or anything or a vehicle that had tag or insurance or anything for that matter,
There was always a vehicle
there was
there.
always a vehicle there that had a quarter tank of gas of some sort.
Yeah.
And if that vehicle, if I was able to siphon it, whatever, I made do. Like I made it happen no matter what. But there's a lot of dumb shit I did along with that. But that car, my ex-girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend's car was like an old crappy Dodge Neon. Everybody knows that you don't see them on the road anymore.
Yeah,
That's how shitty they are.
Yeah.
There's not a collection of neons anywhere except the junkyard.
Yeah.
And I forgot what the case was, but me and Shaun were, or I was doing something in the yard. And Shaun's like, I forgot how it got started. That was so long ago. But I do remember us fucking hooking a chain to it in one of those shitty orange trucks. We went down the road. It was on a main road in Cobb County, and made an immediate left. Another. I can tell you almost specific spot that we jumped at.
It wasn't a main road.
It wasn't, but it was a decent artery for Cobb County.
Yeah.
But anyways, we made 2 lefts, dumped it on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah, off of that main road. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you were talking about the road we dumped it on.
No,
Alright.
the main road that the house was on. And
I was
made
driving.
some lefts, and Shaun's
you were
like,
in the
hey,
back with the ratchet
what
strap or
was it?
chain.
I forgot what I was doing something to the car, and it was something stupid, and you're like, yeah, I was like, do you know what you do with spark plugs and this and that?
You remember that?
Yes, I remember all that shit.
So,
I've told
in case you don't know, porcelain shatters glass. So if you take old spark plugs and just crush up the white porcelain on
porcelain is what insulates the not diode, but
electrode.
the electrode.
But you could just take
Little shards.
and just toss it at glass, and it just
Spider webs.
And I was telling James about this, and he's like, "No way!" I'm like, "Yeah, dude."
Yeah, I'm a dumb teenage kid. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Cool.
And that was the easy way to get into a car when I was younger, without damaging the car. I mean, obviously you just fuck their glass up, but then you just stick a screwdriver and pry it back, and you're in the car. So, should I be saying all this shit on here?
It don't matter. So we hooked up a chain, and he wanted to do it, but we didn't want to do it at my dad's place because we knew it would make a mess, and we wanted to bust out every window in the car because it got. This is after me and my girlfriend separated, and
it was left. It was abandoned.
Yeah, it was abandoned. And
you tried to get them to come get it several times.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, because you dealt with her dad about it.
Oh yeah, me and her dad were on bad terms, and we just wanted to get rid of it, and we're like, fuck it, let's get rid of the car. And at the time, we could have sold it for scrap money or something, but no, let's go bust the windows out of it and abandon it somewhere.
Yeah.
And so we drove around the corner, we busted up some old spark plugs because there was plenty of that shit laying around. And Shaun's like, watch this. And we're like, we pulled it with chains, this old like DOT orange, shitty 90s 3/4 ton pickup truck. And we yanked it around, we disconnected it. It was like dusk, I think.
Let it hit a tree.
Yeah, and we're like, we jump out of the truck and we're like, psh, psh, psh. We're like, oh shit. We just run back to the car and take off like 1 block over and pull in, thinking that we're like robbing a bank or something.
Yeah, no
At least
shit.
that's how I felt.
Oh man, that
Just
was
stupid,
funny.
dumb shit. It was fun though. So Shaun's a great influence. If you want your kids to learn how to break into cars, if stuff really gets rough in the country here in the next couple of years, Shaun's your man for training.
I wouldn't know nowadays with all the new shit. I mean, obviously that's easy, but
What's fascinating is that they're able to steal brand new cars still. Because I stumbled across a link of some sort of stealing I have a fairly new 3/4 ton diesel truck, and with all the technology and so much stuff's involved with it. But there's so many protocols to keep you from just ganking them out. But no, people are coming in, replacing the computer system modules with ones that have been, I guess, debunked or however you want to call it.
Right.
Stick it in there, jam a key or push start, like, it's all encrypted crap.
No, it's
and stealing cars.
It's easy. I watched a video on this shit. So you go into a dealership, test drive. 2 people. While I'm test driving with the key fob, no key. It's sitting here, salesman's sitting here. You're in the back. I'm test driving, kind of getting on it. And, oh man, this is cool, and keeping his attention. This person takes the key fob and one switches a key fob with a bullshit one for the same year, and or 2 pulls out the fucking laser cut key, puts a blank in or a bullshit laser cut key, and you keep the one for the car.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. Then you pull back up at the dealership. Let me think about it. Let me talk to my wife. Y'all leave. Dealership closes. 2 o'clock in the morning. Bolt cutters. Open the gate. Walk in there. Car opens. You get in it and drive away.
Right.
Easy.
Yep.
And then take it somewhere. Swap the fucking computer like you said. Done deal.
Oh, I see a new business venture, Shaun.
Then all you got to do is buy a salvaged car that,
Yeah, but I think most of those guys are chopping them up, selling them for parts and stuff.
But I'm saying you could just buy a salvaged car and fucking revend the whole fucking car and take it to have it inspected. You could do some kind of a bullshit perfect fucking
clone of some
seam.
sort or something.
No, I'm saying a seam for like where the car was wrecked. So they inspect it and it's like, oh yeah, that right there's where he fixed it. Yeah, it looks good.
There we go. Let's go. Well, they just had that happen. So we've had 2 instances by us recently. One was at a Dodge dealership where two teenagers. I say teenagers. I don't know how old they were.
Hellcat. Tell me they got a Hellcat.
Yeah, they got something like that.
Yeah.
They test drove it like 2 days before because
Yeah.
they went back and looked at footage. But they just walked up and they just noticed. Actually, the second time they came, I guess the salesman pulled up, the car up front, and the guys are like, okay, cool. And I guess they distracted the sales guy. Another one jumped in the car and dipped out. Another guy dipped out in the car that they drove in. And I'm like, I'm sure they got plenty of video. And they do. They have video of the guys, but you can't make out exactly who they were. They were
Right.
black kids. They were very dark complected. And this is something else I'm going to roll into, is a video footage. So I just put up security cameras. We just looked at security cameras for Cameron's house. You got cameras here. I finally broke down and bought one because we had an incident down the road from our house recently. And I'm looking at the footage, and I'm like, it's not the best camera footage ever, but it is 10 times better than some of the shit I've seen from people like, oh, have you seen this person? They just robbed this SunTrust bank down the
And
road.
it's this grainy ass photo.
Yeah, it's like World War II footage from like 600 feet up. And I'm like, where does the blame come from not being able to identify people in that kind of scenario? Because the banks, they got money, obviously. Why don't they invest in some of the best technology as far as video?
You got little local community banks that fucking cheap.
That I understand, but like these major banks that get robbed, like Wells Fargo, SunTrust, all that crap, they get robbed on a regular.
SunTrust is no longer. It's Truist.
Not Truist, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But shitty footage. It's always this grainy footage that they're showing on the news, and a lot of it's convenience stores getting robbed.
In convenience stores, you can go ahead and, yeah, because most every one of those is just franchise owned. So they're not, in any kind of contract or regulation for the equipment.
But I bought a $135.
Well, that's cheap. Your shit's going to be all grainy too.
Right, that's what I bought. And so the footage is fairly decent. I more or less did it just to deter people from possibly doing anything.
Right.
Because people, at least in my eyes, I think video cameras will deter someone unless they're dead hard set on knowing what they're there to get. They get that one thing and walk off.
Right. Or, I mean, I don't know. A lot of times when you scope shit out, like, I don't know. A lot of people don't give a fuck.
They don't.
And they're not looking up for cameras.
And we saw a lot of that during the first year of COVID.
Yeah.
You know, people are out of work. A lot of people didn't have money, so burglary was on the rise for sure.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, man.
But what were we talking about that before that? We were busting the windows out, doing dumb shit.
It started off with Kameron
Right.
kicking in his door.
Kicking his door in, which, by the way.
And then kind of went to what we used to do as kids. And like...
I used to just do dumb, reckless shit. Like, I got tons of stories.
Yeah, I did a lot
damaging personal property.
I did that. My very first thing I got busted for, I was 12 years old. Me and 2 other kids went through the whole neighborhood and just vandalized everybody's shit. And we got caught because one of the kids was a big mouth. He was trying to brag to someone else.
Why do you think, obviously I've done shit like that too, why do you think, obviously it's the groups you hang out with?
Yeah.
It's, you know, what's deemed as, you know, fun and adventurous as being destructive?
Well, we all like destructive.
Yeah.
Like,
who doesn't want to take a sledgehammer and beat the shit out of
anything?
Of, you know, a car.
It's a stupid trend now where dudes take, you know, pieces of glass, ice, like out of this little pond or whatever, and they throw it up and watch it shatter. It's like,
cool.
Yeah, but it's just watching something get destroyed. We have an infatuation with it. So obviously, when you're younger, you're more adventurous. You don't give a fuck about doing the wrong thing.
You don't think about the disciplinary
part
of it. That's an afterthought.
And you will go, you know, however far you go. I mean, do all kinds of shit. But that was what initially got me on probation. 12 years old. YDC.
When I had my incident of getting expelled in middle school, I didn't think, and it was when I was in juvie, I had time to think about it. I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? I was, I thought I had planned it out in my head how it would work out. Ultimately, I figured the knife would scare him. When I broke the knife out, I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna fuck with them. I don't want to get stabbed. I don't want to get cut. Whatever. It was more of a fear tactic that I planned on using. I didn't think I'd stab them. I wasn't that. My mindset was like, I'm gonna fuck these guys up. I'm gonna slice and dice, cut their throats, watch it bleed out, and step over their body, kind of deal.
But if you say things like that, you can also get expelled. Ask me how I know.
Right. But my plan got to that point, and I didn't think nothing else about it. You know, I figured I'd take the knife out, scare them, and then I go home.
Right.
You know, don't fuck with me. You know, they won't fuck with me from here on out because they know I carry a knife.
Right.
You know, Billy Badass.
Yeah.
And when I ended up breaking a knife out, I stabbed them in the hand. I got jumped. I got the shit beat out of me. Like literally, it's probably top 2 times I've had my ass beat by a group of people. And when they pulled me in, they're like, you know, we're gonna call the cops or whatever. I was like, I didn't put any of that shit together. I didn't think about bringing a deadly weapon on school grounds. I didn't think about using a deadly weapon, attempted murder, blah, blah, blah. All that shit they try to throw at me.
Yeah.
Like, they try to throw it on me. I lived in a fairly decent general area on the east side of El Paso. It was on the up-and-coming side of El Paso. It was a border town. And it was a higher end. The housing was a little bit on the higher side. It was kind of like living in East Cobb.
Bougie. East Cobb, early 90s.
Yeah. Or all the way up to 2000s, probably.
Yeah, because East Cobb now is shit.
Yeah, it's garbage. But I never thought about anything that was going to happen if something actually planned out. Because, you know, you're a kid. You don't think that far ahead. You're like, knife, school, scare them, go home, done deal. That's about as much thought process as I put into it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was saying, I was like, what entices us as being shithead teenagers to do that? And I think ultimately it's the people that you hang out with.
And watching Beavis and Butthead.
Their influences.
Yeah. No
because
shit.
I hung out with mostly older kids. I still do to this day.
We got, all right, so it's kind of like the whole mailbox thing with the baseball bat, right? So.
Mine got hit.
Somewhat.
Like a couple weeks after I put it up at the new house.
I think you told me about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had fun that night. But, So it's kind of like that. Like you do it once to try it, test the waters, and then
Just
and
to
then
fucking do it.
and
Just to
then
be a
you
dumb kid.
do it again and again and again. And then it's like one night you go on a rampage, like you're telling your buddy about it. So that was kind of how it happened. Like
It's cool points.
me and a buddy, we walked everywhere as kids, rode our bikes and shit, and we punched mailbox off, right? Like, oh yeah, you did it. I gotta do it. So we rode off like a motherfucker. Like a couple days, a week later, we done it again to a couple houses down the street. Rode off like a motherfucker. We were telling another kid about it. We were at my house. We were drinking my mom's Jack, and so we were fucking pretty lit. And we didn't go away from my neighborhood. We stayed in my neighborhood. Like we dressed in like black and camo and fucking grabbed knives and had a throwing axe and baseball bat and all kind of shit. We went around the neighborhood
It
just
was like Suicide Squad walking through.
yeah, no shit. And I mean, but then we got overboard. I mean, because I think being fucked up, drunk, influenced that. So we were picking up concrete bricks and blocks and shit and throwing it through windshields of cars and just slashing tires. Like we just fucking. It was a rampage night. And but everything comes back around always.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell you about that story?
Mm-mm.
All right, so we did that, and then one of the kids ran his mouth to a friend, like bragging about it, and then that kid told his parents. They called the cops. It was big news, and then we get arrested. Mom works for cops, right? So it's this whole fucked up ordeal. So I go to YDC Youth Detention Center. The insurance claims only paid out whatever 60-80%, some shit, and they averaged it up. What insurance payouts was in the $15,000 range.
For what? For what total damage?
Everybody's shit.
Oh, so your mother's house?
No, every house in that neighborhood, they did a combined payout for what insurance paid out.
Mm.
And it was $15,000 we did in one night.
Awesome.
Early 90s. Like 1993 to be exact.
What do you think is the most single incident you did that night that was most expensive?
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, I'm jumping the gun here.
So all three of us had to pay back $5,000 something.
Wow.
I did that the next summer cutting grass. I mean, I killed it cutting grass. And I was on probation for a year from that, and then got their probation extended and all that shit because I was hanging out with all kinds of fucking pieces. Anyways, that was 12 years old. 18 years old. 16, I turned my life around, got out of all that shit, cut off all those people. We moved away, so that made it easier. Got my shit straight.
And that's not the same. Is that the house that I met you in?
No.
Okay.
No. So anyways, I'm working at a job, Atlanta Bonnet Warehouse, and me and this old cat, like, I'm 18 years old, he's like 40, something like that, old enough to be my dad. We're like, every time we go to break, every time we go to lunch, like, me and this dude just mixing it up, man. And love conversation with him. And I always hung out with the older crowd so I can relate to older people better. And, I told him, like, I was a fucking punk kid and did a lot of dumb shit. Then we had realized I grew up in the same neighborhood where he still lives. Yeah, blah, blah. One day, we were at lunch, and we used to play ping pong with each other, all kind of shit. We go to lunch. Hey, man, what's up? I don't remember his name. And he had this serious look on his face. And he was like, hey, Shaun, let's talk for a minute. I'm like, yeah, man, you all right? You good? And he's like, I just need to talk to you. And I was
How old were you?
Okay, 18 years old. And he goes, I did a lot of praying last night. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm waiting for this dude to drop a bomb on me. Like, yeah, he was. He said, I did a lot of thinking. Were you one of those kids that went through my neighborhood and vandalized? My heart fucking dropped, dude. I'm talking through the floor. Like, me and this cat for 6 months have been just so fucking cool. And then that, I mean, and my eyes got watery. And like, that was a hard pill to swallow, but I changed my life. So I manned the fuck up. I said, yeah. Yeah, it was. I was. And he was like, you son of a bitch. He said, you busted. And he lived at the house we did the most shit to.
Really? What's the chances of that?
All 4 tires, windshield, rear window on a Mercedes Benz. Dude, that was perfect timing. Yeah. But you want to plug it back up so it gets a good charge? Fucking, I don't know. If there was other vehicles there, I remember that, and obviously a mailbox. I'm sure.
Specifically, remember his place?
I know exactly where he lived and the corner he lived on. And he had daughters that went to school with me, and I specifically remember the black car because we went overboard with it, and yeah, dude, it was, and it hurt. It hurt.
Right.
That karma or whatever you want to say. And it hurt seeing him every day for the next couple months. And every time I'd see him, I'd just be like, I want to say hey to him. I want to whatever, and nothing. Well, he came up to me after a couple months one day.
So at this point, was like y'all's coworker friendship over?
It was done. It was just done. Every time I see him, he'd look away. Like he didn't want to have nothing to do. He didn't want to look at me. So a couple months go by like that, and I'm just hating it. Every time I see him, it's just. And so he came up to me one day, and he's like, "Hey, Shaun." I was like, "Hey, man, what's up?" And he's like, "Look, again, I've been doing a lot of praying, a lot of whatever, and I've realized you are definitely a changed person from the kid that did that stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm real sorry." I said, "Look, I can pay you." And he said, "No, stop that." And I said, "Well, I'm working this job, making good money." He said, "Stop all that. I don't want your money." He said, "Your face, when I told you, and you said, yeah, your face was enough for me." He said, "I forgive you." And I was like, God, I'm getting chills right now talking about it. But I was like, oh my gosh. He's like, "I forgive you." He said, "We're starting over." I mean, I just everything has changed, so I just can't.
And from day one to day when he put 2 and 2 together, what was the distance in time, you think?
Probably about 4 to 6 months.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say years.
No.
So it was still fresh in his brain then.
Oh, day one is in I started working there?
No. When you actually committed the crime versus...
6 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was 12 and 18.
Okay.
So 6 years. And then I'd work there for about 4 to 6 months. And, we just hit it off.
Right.
And then sometime in that time frame, I told him, I was a punk kid, was hanging out with a gang, like, whatever. Never got in it. I don't claim that shit. But actually, I was in YDC when I was supposed to have my initial beat-in.
You got fucked in.
Birthday. Yeah.
Been over, boy.
No. So I didn't get it because I was locked up. But anyways, whatever. But yeah, dude, that was rough. That was one of the first like adult hard ass pills I had to swallow. Man, that was a tough one.
I bet.
But and then we were cool for a couple months, and then I got pissed off and left that job.
And where was that at?
Atlanta Bonnet Warehouse in Kennesaw.
Just a general warehouse.
Huge fucking warehouse. They deal with all the candy, like Wrigley, Mars, fucking Hershey, They're just a distribution center. So manufacturer sends it to them. They
So you're
box
just
it
working on
up.
pallets and boxes all
They
day long.
box it up and send it to Kroger and Walgreens and whatever. So
Right.
yeah, it was a great job. I was 18 years old making like $20 an hour. No, I was making like 15. When I left there, I was making almost 20 because I was a crew leader.
Wow.
Yeah, 18 years old
It's good money.
in the 90s, making that kind of money. It was good
That's
money.
good money.
If I'd have stayed there, but I was a hothead, so
Yeah.
I don't think I worked anywhere
Fuck
longer
this
than
place.
6 months.
Fuck your Mars bar.
Up until I was about mid-20s. Had kids, right? Multiple kids, not just one. But I don't know. Yeah. So that was pretty fucked up. But still, even to this day, I don't regret anything I've done. I don't. That was something I learned a long time ago. I feel sorry. And I don't know. But I know everything I've done made me who I am today. And I don't want to change who I am today. I can be better. I can be a better father, better husband. I can be a better human being, a better Christian,
Better host.
a better host. but I don't. I am who I am today, and I feel like I'm a pretty decent person at all that. Not the greatest, but room for improvement. But it made me who I am. So,
Well, sorry to say that, but I'm next thing to Jesus is perfect.
motherfucker.
I heard something. It was just a comment someone made on something I was listening to. It was religion based, but it was just they were going back and forth talking, and they brought up religion for a second, and they're talking about the history of religion, and it was something about being perfect, or conducting yourself in the most perfect way, which is the theory of the human thought of what perfect is not the same as being absolute perfect. And it made me think about it. It's like our theory of being perfect is, never making mistakes. Ultimately that's the ground root of it, is never making a mistake.
Humanly values of perfect.
And that's what we put behind it, is not making those general mistakes, but the mistakes that you do make. I'm butchering it, and it sounded so good when how they said it. I'll have to find it and I'll have to send it to you. But it was ultimately the value that we put on being perfect, and trying to conduct ourselves in day-to-day activities as being perfect is, godlike. We're God, a godlike person, presence, whatever, doesn't make mistakes. Well, in that case, if we are conducting ourselves to be in that form, then we'll never make mistakes, and we'll never be able to learn through what humanity has to offer. I'm trying to figure out exactly how he worded it, but it made perfect fucking sense. It was a religion-based comment, and I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I'll have to find it. Anyways, we'll bring that back next episode.
Okay.
Because it was very, very interesting, and I was like, wow, that puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yep.
And I was like, it was a really good comment. It was just right off the hip too.
So
and it wasn't well thought out, but the way he just communicated it, and I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense.
Going off what you said, a lot of people put humanly value on being a perfect human, not a perfect Christian. Is that kind of what he did? Did he break it up? No. So everything was Christian based.
Yeah, it was just about conducting yourself in the most human way possible, being the perfect subject, and not being able to learn from your mistakes is what actually creates that value on being a quality individual.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I'm using my own words now, but
yeah.
But I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. But I'll have to do research because it was really good. Like I thought it was a very good way of looking at it.
Right on.
So what about this spy balloon?
Oh my god, dude!
Is it? They should have had the character from Up hanging on to the balloon.
The old dude.
Yeah.
So how many were there?
One as of right now.
Just one. But did you also
There's
see?
also the balloon that got shot down.
That was a spy balloon, right?
They're calling us. Nobody fucking knows. So it got shot down. They're still recovering the articles from the balloon or whatever.
Right.
That was in South Carolina, right?
Yeah. Something.
And then there was another incident in Alaska where we still don't know exactly what it was, but we know that a F-22 was scrambled to its position to, make it non-flyable.
Oh.
But we don't know. There's damn it.
Details.
Not details, but speculation on exactly what it was.
Yeah. So, but there was also another balloon that it was a project that the parents made, a balloon. Did you not see this? It was all like, I don't know if this was really old and dated, but it seemed like it was just happened all within a couple days of each other. And basically it was like a weather balloon that it was a project that
science project
Dad had made or some shit. Anyways, their like 9-year-old or 8-year-old kid got into it, and then it broke.
Oh yeah.
It was tied to the house, and
Yep.
then it broke loose. And so you like watching it in real time, and this thing looks like it's going fucking 90 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I never heard the outcome of that.
No, there was something similar that happened like that.
The F-22 shot it down.
Yeah.
No, but all the local authorities and all that knew that there was a kid in it, and they were trying to figure out what in the fuck. Because the parents called the cops and was like, "Hey,
My kid's floating up in the air."
yeah, like my kids." Yeah, and there
Went
was,
to the Wonka factory
Yeah.
and drank that shit.
and there was fucking badass wind that day, so it was moving. It was crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't know where you were going with it. So
No, so the spy balloon got shot down over South Carolina.
and that was just some good old boy, right?
No, the U.S.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know.
an official
Yeah,
person.
yeah, a jet shot it down ultimately.
Oh, okay.
With that one I don't know how it was shot down. It was shot down by plane, obviously. I believe it was. The one in Alaska was shot down by missile, but nobody has any pictures or photos or anything. It just popped up on radar, and so they scrambled to it. But it's funny because we had all this documentation, not photography, and just media reports of this item flying up and over, and nobody knew. And immediately, the first thing, like, oh, it's a Chinese spy balloon, plane. I'm like, why the fuck would they send a balloon?
Well, what gets me is we tracked it from California to North Carolina, and we didn't do nothing about it.
Hanging out.
But all right, so it's shot down. You can go pick up a piece of the remain, figure out where in the fuck it came from. If it is China, well, I can't say that because our administration's pussies. But that's when we would need to send a clear and direct message. If you ever fucking do this again, I'm sending a million things to you, and they're all nukes, bitch. Don't play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a firm hand is what's needed. Period. Always.
I just think it's all smoke and mirrors, personally.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Well, because we had 3 fucking balloons in the matter of a few days, and there's always weird shit going on. And then it's like this big ordeal, and then it's just gone. You don't hear about it no more. It's like,
Smoke and
what the
mirrors.
fuck what just happened behind that door? Why everyone's focused on this? So, I don't know.
Well, that shit happens.
I agree.
On a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
But no, so if we tracked it, you said from California to the Carolinas, so basically across the entire main continent of the U.S. Obviously, with all the satellites and all the technology in the world, the U.S. government was supposed to be the most up to date, yada yada yada. We were tracking that thing when it was fucking by Hawaii, I'm sure,
Right.
or whatever drift it was coming on,
Yeah.
whatever airstream that was. And why wasn't nobody notified at that point? Why wasn't it taken care of? Why wasn't it investigated? It's not like this bitch is going at Mach speeds where
Right.
they can't take a helicopter, a plane, or anything. Just do a visual flyby, inspect it, see if there's any stamps or logos, SpaceX.
Yeah. That would be hilarious if Elon did that as a prank.
Yeah. Has Epstein didn't kill himself on the side of it?
Yeah, I know shit, man. Oh man, free my boy Trump.
Yeah. But no, it's just one of
Twitter
those
is
things
now unlocked.
like that was, the highlight for 48 hours of news.
Yeah.
What was happening around the world at that time where that had to take up that slot of time?
We probably sent 8 more pallets to Ukraine.
No, we did. We spent about 800 pallets in that time frame. But no, so yeah, the F-22 shot down the one in Alaska. They're still recovering the artifacts from that because that actually landed in the ocean from the reports that they said.
Oh, they're gonna say everything was too destroyed.
Yeah. Like, oh, we can't get it because, well, the endangered crabs will be fucking hurt.
The blue whale crab.
Yeah.
It's only it's an indigenous whatever.
Impregnated Asian elephant.
Holy shit. That the ATF nurtures
Yeah.
off their tit.
But no, since we spoke about Ukraine, I wanted to go over Ukraine and what's going on over there. Have you kept up with?
Fuck no.
I haven't kept up
Dude,
with the day-to-day activities, but like once a week I'll look up whatever the most common subject is about Ukraine for that week or whatever, and I'll dive in and read.
Been about a year or so. I really stayed out of the news. I'm so much happier.
Yeah.
Because, dude, I was getting...
I started that back during Trump's initial
Yeah.
run because
Yeah.
it got the better of me disputing shit with strangers online. And I was like, yeah, this isn't healthy.
So, what's going on in Ukraine, James?
Well, in Ukraine, it's corruption.
Oh, I thought it wasn't corrupt anymore.
Oh, it is. It has been since the Soviet Union and continues to this day.
Oh, so it's like
This
Russia.
is breaking news for everybody that listens to mainstream media.
No.
Yeah. But I'm here to tell you, I'm real quietly because I don't want everybody else to hear us. Ukraine is corrupt as hell. And all you have to do is look at the numbers and it just tells you everything you need to know about an impoverished country. So Ukraine is next to Kyiv,
Yeah.
right? Or Kyiv is in Ukraine.
Yeah. That's the
And-
capital.
And obviously, I think most of the world is familiar with Chernobyl. Chernobyl's in Ukraine.
Yeah, but not for that sense.
Right.
Because of the movie.
Right.
Anyways, go
But
ahead.
no, so Ukraine had a nuclear meltdown and still nuclear fallout to this day. We probably still breathe some of that bullshit in air in our lungs today. But just stating back from there, if you watch the movies and documentaries of how the Soviet Union at that time tried to cover everything up, because at that during the was 86, I don't know if it was still, yeah, it was still Soviet Union. Because what year did Soviet Union break up? Was it like 89 or something?
Fuck, I don't know.
Either way. But it's more or less, I have a problem with Ukraine because it's corrupt and we keep sending them shit.
Mm-hmm.
And by all means, the humanitarian part of it, I fully understand and I'm completely behind it because there's a lot of innocent people that are getting hurt and killed on a regular basis on both sides, Russian and Ukraine. But the amount of money that we send to this country, one, on a regular basis, but two, ever since this conflict has started.
And equipment.
And equipment.
So it's not just cash. We're sending equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I seen on it is when he came to a conference with our Congress.
Yeah, he
Asking-
addressed the Congress
Yeah,
back in
ask-
December 20th.
Yeah, asking for all this fucking elaborate equipment.
Bradley tanks,
Helicopters.
land-to-air missiles, blah, 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 MRAPs.
Yeah.
And basically, outfit me with all your good shit and want to do our best.
Right.
And not trying to sell it on the black market.
Yeah, and you don't have to send troops. Just
Send everything else.
send me billions of dollars worth of equipment.
And we gladly oblige because we're the U.S.
Yay!
We are the richest, most powerful country in the world on paper.
Yeah,
On paper.
exactly.
And we could afford this, right? We could afford. We got
Yes, we can.
we got rich uncles.
Yeah, China.
Yeah. We have all these rich relatives that run our country, and we have unlimited resources, i.e., money, i.e., money that buys all this weaponry that we have to send overseas that we're also paying for shipping and everything else.
My great grandkids will never understand what we're saying right now.
I know.
Because the English language will be gone. All these motherfuckers will be walking around the U.S. going ching wong on my ding dong.
Do they work at the sauna?
Yeah, the nail salon, whatever,
Yeah.
you know. But whenever China comes to collect all that money we've borrowed.
So I got a few stats for you for the money of where all this money is gone. And it's let's circle back to what's going on right now. But since 2014, we've sent $27 billion. Since 2014.
Wow.
So this is 5 years, 6 years, 6 years after our economy crashes.
Oh, yeah.
6 years. At that point, we've sent $27 billion. Since the Russian invasion, we've sent $24 billion in aid of either currency of some sort or military equipment.
So from 2014 to 2021, I think? Yeah. Or no?
22.
Yeah, it was the
Just
beginning of 22.
February. Yeah, we're pretty much coming up on a year since the initial start of the conflict.
So 8 years we sent about $2 billion. And then in the last year we've sent $24 billion.
Mm-hmm.
God. That's awesome.
War makes the world go round.
Hell yeah, it does.
But it's the whole corruption thing. So we all know the propaganda that comes out of Russia, or every country for that matter, including ours.
Yeah.
In 2012, Ukraine was voted by Ernst and Young, who's a consulting firm that works all over the world. They're based here in the U.S. It's actually one of my customers.
Yeah.
But was labeled one of the top 3 most corrupt countries in the world.
Wow. That's a top 3.
Top 3.
Wow.
We have Somalian pirates.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
That didn't make that top 3.
Wow.
And this is not a third world country. Like Ukraine isn't the U.S. by any means as far as resources.
But it's very established.
Yeah, it's the people aren't impoverished by any means. Yeah. In 2015, made the top 100. They changed it somehow magically, and I was looking at those stats when you came down. I didn't
magically was like this. Let me pay you to get our numbers lower.
Right. But the whole thing is just a mess, and I don't understand why. I understand the humanitarian part of it, but the whole money thing, I was like, why are we? You can't help others unless you help your house first. If your house is not in order, how are you going to help anybody else?
So right, and that was what a lot of us were saying as far as our country, and doing the border and border security and all that shit. So my question is, I wonder how much when the Ukraine president, I don't know his name, but when he, yeah, him. So when
Did I get that right?
yeah, it sounded spot on. When he became president, do you know that?
Yes.
What year? Because he apparently got voted in because he wasn't corrupt and he was going to clean up the corrupt country, and that's why I'm wondering when he took office or that position.
Volodymyr Zelensky.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me look.
You need to learn how to search shit. I already had the answer. Golly. But he apparently was supposed to, try and clean up Ukraine. So.
Yeah, so Ukraine became independent in 91. So yeah, I think 89, like 88, 89 is when.
All right, that's not what I asked, bitch.
I know. But anyways, I stumbled across it. No, I'm looking to see.
Looked up the wrong shit.
I know.
It pulled up his name. Just click it. It should say Wikipedia?
2019.
Oh, okay. So very well could be. That could be the case. He could be 100% legit,
As far as
not corrupt.
no,
Why?
why?
He's been in office for 4 years.
The defense minister, or Ministry of Defense, however they worded over there,
Right.
he just was either removed or stepped down because of corruption. Just in this past month,
Okay.
back in January.
But doesn't mean the president is.
Birds of a feather flock together, dude.
But he could be trying to get them all out.
No.
He could have got that motherfucker out.
He might be there for the people, but I don't believe anybody that's in that kind of power position, whether it be here at home or abroad.
Yeah.
I think they're all padding their pockets in one way or another.
I mean, maybe, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know for a fact, obviously.
But
I don't know the gentleman. I don't know anything about it.
I think about every person we have in any kind of
But
political
history has
position,
shown.
yeah, it's just garbage. Mm-hmm. And it's the same with our country. So, I don't know.
But no, the thing from
look at every president we've had up until, and I haven't looked up the statistics on Trump, nor Biden now. We all know he's got shit money. I mean, corrupt money. Biden does. But the Obamas, the Clintons, all of them. I mean, the Bushes, their net worth when they go into office and when they get out of office. Your presidential candidate or position is supposed to be 1 point. I hope I don't fuck that up.
What are we talking about?
$1.6 million in a 4-year term. That's their salary. So if you go into office and you have $400,000 in the bank, and you get out of office, say you did 2 terms, so that's $3.2 million. Did 2 terms in office, and you get out and you got $40 million. There's a fucking problem. That's a red flag. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you're not allowed to do any other job when you're in that position. So,
I think you should forfeit not necessarily forfeit to the government or anything, but forfeit use of any outside funding once you become take a seat like that, like a senator or anything of major power.
During the time of the seat, well, they're supposed to.
Before and after, I don't give a shit what you do.
Right, but they're supposed to.
They're supposed to, but they don't.
Yeah, no, they don't. And the inside trading, like we see that clear as fucking day with Pelosi and her husband. Her husband's money, not hers.
But they all did it.
Yeah, but it's garbage, man.
But realistically, if you were in, we'll say you're some sort of senator, you caught wind of it. Hey, Shaun, fucking Trump's going to be announcing in about 2 weeks about this shit sickness stuff that's spreading out. I don't know really much about it, but I do know there's probably a shortage on hand sanitizer and masks. So you might want to talk to your investor dude and get some shit going. Would you not do it? Yes.
No.
Yes, you would.
No. You can't.
You would naturally want to gain from it because you don't have any forefront sight of what's actually coming of that.
But naturally, anybody wants to gain. Mm-hmm. But that's where you have a conscience and it comes into play.
Right.
And at some point before you actually take that step.
But you don't have the foresight of the extreme that's going to come from it.
Right. And I get that.
And that's what I'm saying.
But so
that's why
I can make
advocate.
$1 million for this, or there's a chance it could be $80 million. Should I take this chance and not overstep my oath? No, you took an oath for a reason. Mm-hmm. Same thing with cops. I get so mad about that shit with them. Stupid tyrant motherfuckers. And I'm a huge law enforcement supporter, man, but I see time and time again where they're violating people's fucking rights.
Yep.
And it infuriates me because their lack of training it's crazy. I never realized how much it was before.
Yeah.
Until all these cameras and footage is popping up. Like those fucking 5 cops, in Tennessee. It was awful.
It's terrible. I still haven't watched the video.
Dude.
Just because I don't want to. I'm like,
it's bad.
It's going to make me upset.
It's worse than Rodney King. And that was bad. So, I don't know, man. It's shit. I don't know. Anyways.
But no, ultimately, I think all the I say all of them. The vast majority of them are corrupt.
Yeah. I mean,
And they're all out for personal gain.
And they might have got into it
Excuse me.
with good intentions and
Yeah, I think they all start out that way.
you know,
I want to say majority of them start out that way.
and that's what I tell people with law enforcement officers. You know, I've never met a cop that got into it because they wanted to do dirty shit or be corrupt. I've met a lot of cops who got into a department that's in a bad area, and they're constantly around criminals and dealing with shit all the time. Mm-hmm. That can make them bad fucking cops.
They become a product of their environment.
Exactly. So same thing with politics and politicians.
Kind of the same way with us growing up and being around a bunch of shitheads.
Yeah.
You become one of them.
Oh, 100%.
So it the whole track continues on throughout life.
Yeah. But
so the key behind it is putting yourself behind quality individuals.
But that, and also once you get to a point, you need to don't ignore your conscience, don't ignore your morals, your values.
If you have them.
I mean, yeah. Your religion. So, I don't know. It's just people, I don't know. I'm optimistic, man. I really am, but you know, I'm optimistic.
But you're a realist at the same time.
Knowing that I'm probably putting more hopes in that basket
than what it can hold.
Than what it can hold and what it's ever going to be in it.
Right.
You know, it is what it is. I have faith in humanity, but
I do too.
I see us fucking
but
technology
has
this planet.
As much as it has improved society, it has also damaged it.
It's crippled it bad.
Yeah, I would say equal amounts. As much as we've gained from it, really. I would say it's on the equal plateau.
I'd say we've damaged worse than it's actually helped.
And then that'll roll into something else that I want to talk about.
It's going worse.
Right. Obviously, all your kids are a little bit older than mine.
Yeah.
By on average 10 years.
Yeah.
And I saw how your kids got brought up. And I use that as an example. I see how other people's kids got brought up. Mainly yours, because I spent most time with them because they're family.
Right.
And
you're like, these motherfuckers.
But no, I reflect back on how I want to conduct myself in raising the kids, on having them have access to the world, ultimately internet, phone, and everything else. And not being an overbearing parent, but also don't be a free-ranging parent.
Yeah.
And there's a fine line in my book, or in my mentality, on how to parent and not be aggressive, but also let them make mistakes because they're going to do it. They're kids.
But that's mainly, they learn with mistakes.
Yeah. So. I honestly think that's the best way to learn, personally, because if you fuck up enough and big enough, you're going to have giant consequences that come with it, and will mold your ideas on how to move forward on conducting yourself if you come across that same situation again.
Yeah.
But no, I'm torn because when I discuss this with people, Abigail doesn't have a cell phone. She doesn't have, she does have a phone she plays with. It's more or less a smaller version of a tablet for her to use at home and play on.
Right.
And maybe in the car.
It's like an iPod.
Yeah. More or less, she has a
mini
phone.
iPad.
She doesn't have any connection to a cellular network. It's all Wi-Fi based.
Yeah.
It's mainly mine and Misty's old phones, and she loves playing with her friends online, this and that and the other. But then, obviously, we have other kids that at school, of course, are telling her stories like, "Oh, I found this on the internet." And Abigail's telling me the broken up story of what they're discussing, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what else did he say? And then I'm picking her brain to see if she'll spit something else out. Now my throat's getting dry.
And they said, are you out of water?
No, not yet.
And they said, I need a phone, but my parents are too fucking cheap to buy me one.
Yeah, so a couple of Abigail's friends have phones, and that's fine. But I think, obviously, I'm not around enough because I'm always working. And that's not an excuse by any means. It's more or less just an actuality. Is I'm working all the time. Misty's more around just because she's a stay-at-home parent. But she also can't overlook Abigail's every. You've seen that lint, ain't you? But is what she's exposed to. Is I want to limit the amount of exposure, Like, for instance, we watch scary movies from time to time. She's going to be 11 years old this year, and I'm like, okay. We've watched like 5 minutes of Jaws. When a girl disappears in the water, she's like, "Where'd you go?" And she's like, "I don't want to watch it no more." So I know she still has the mentality of being a little kid, but eventually she's gonna start asking. I'm sure the first one's she's gonna figure out is her aunt is gay or lesbian, and she has a girlfriend that she's grown up with pretty much her entire life. So she's gonna ask. She's gonna figure it out. She's gonna put two and two together if she hasn't already. Man, give me a second.
And let me just set this tone. They are old school gay. And when I say that, like, they don't do all the PDA shit.
They're in their 50s.
Right. But they just really, they're both really cool people.
Yeah, they're
Just regular people.
They're not flamboyant.
Right. They're just regular people who like each other. And they happen to be the same sex. That's it.
Yeah.
They're just regular people. There's nothing. They don't have to say, "Hey, look at me, I'm gay. I need a coming out of the closet party. I need a this. I need a that."
Give me all your attention.
They're like, "Fuck all that. I'm gonna be me. You be you. Let's go sit down and break bread."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watch a football game.
Yeah.
But normal fucking people.
Is that she's eventually going to bring that up? And I would guess she's probably the next couple of years, and that's fine. Me and Missy have discussed it, how we're going to break it down to her, and this and that. And like, this is the way
Your
people
answer
are.
strictly, clearly.
Yeah. But so when Misty mentioned to me that she wanted Angie, the aunt that we're talking about, she's like, I want to make her godmother. And I was kind of on the fence about it, mainly for that reason of her being a lesbian, gay. I don't know. I think gay is more geared towards guys, right? Is that right?
Dude, I grew up gay was gay.
Yeah.
And I still have that mentality. Gay is gay.
Okay.
So I don't care if you're a dude that likes dudes or a female that likes females. You're gay. It is what it is.
You're happy.
Yeah. Hey, rainbows.
But no,
and-
so I was on the fence about it. I was turned off by it simply for that reason, and my mindset is, and this gets spin off into something else, is say for instance we died in a car accident and she took over custody of Abigail. I was thinking about in that aspect. She's gonna be growing up in a household with
two mommies.
two moms, and that's fine. But I was like, my attitude towards the way people should be brought, a typical household, a standard household, is male and female raise, their offspring, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's the way society's worked for many, many generations.
Yeah. It's the only way society's going to continue to evolve
We have to procreate.
or grow, move forward.
And so my idea behind it was like, I don't like the idea of if we did pass that she would be brought up in that household thinking that this is the norm.
Right.
And that is my argument against same-sex adoptions and things like that.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily I'm 100% against it. Is my morals tell me that is going to be an upbringing of a child. One, yes, I accept it. I accept people for who they are, whether they're fucking consider themselves to be bears or owls or whatever the fuck they want to be, whatever.
Right.
But as far as sexual orientation, I was torn between her being brought up in a house of being different than what I would consider the standard.
Right.
And so I was torn between that. And so I brought that up to Misty, and she didn't. I don't remember. This was years ago.
She was like, "Quit being a homophobe."
Yeah. And I'm not. And I love both those women very dearly. Like, they're sweet people. They're great. They're great to my kids. I can't ask for any better aunts. But the theory on them raising them I kept going back and forth. I'm like, I know they're great people. I know who raised them.
But it's just the exposure.
It's the exposure of the norm.
But you see, it's worse now. It's worse now in social platforms, TV, movies, commercials. It's in fucking everything.
Yeah.
And
that's fine.
It's not. It's not fine.
You're not fine with it?
No. And not for the fact of I'm homophobic. Because I'm not. Like I said, if you're gay, you're gay. Cool. I don't give a shit. If you're trying to fucking dry hump each other in public wearing thongs, trying to get attention, hey, look at us, we're gay, and we're
proud.
We're basically fucking on the street corner. I have a problem with that. Because why? You don't see straight people doing that. And if you do, they're going to fucking jail. But you have a gay person doing it, and they're trying to express their sexuality so they don't get locked up, and they sit there, and that's way overdose of PDA for everyone to have to endure.
Right.
That's bullshit. Gays won the fight, I think. Blacks won the fight. Slavery was abolished. The Constitution was updated. Women won the fight. Same thing. Labor laws won the fight. We don't need to fucking beat this shit and try and normalize something that is not normal. All through our history, going back to biblical times, going back to fucking Egyptian times, whatever you want to go back to, there's always been gay. I mean, just there has been.
Yeah.
It's nothing new.
Yeah. Homosexuality's been around since the time of people.
Right.
I'm sure cavemen used to fuck each other.
Yeah. So is it taboo? Yeah. Is it...
In this day and age, I don't think it's taboo.
Well, no. Okay, so with society, I'm saying for me, is it taboo? Yes. Do I have the right to tell someone they don't need to do it? No. That's not my place. But for my beliefs, my values, my Christianity, it's taboo. Okay? But if you're not beating it down at my throat or everybody else, I don't give a fuck. As long as I grew up with a gay uncle. And before he came out of the closet, whatever. Everyone knew he's gay. But he's cool. He is a cool motherfucker. Like, he really is. And no one gave a shit at all. Mm-hmm. Same thing with them. They are cool as fuck, down to earth. Mm-hmm. And I don't think anyone who ever meets them will actually give a two shits that they are gay. You got some people that go above and beyond and very judgmental and this and that. And even if they say they're doing it, through religion, they're actually condescending the religion. But you're supposed to be open and loving to everyone and all. Mm-hmm. It's not my place to judge, and it's not my place to condemn. However it goes.
But your personal standards are different.
My personal standards, I think we should not normalize something like that. Because when we do, we're confusing kids growing up. And we're emphasizing on, you can be gay, you can be trans, you can be this, you can be that. And we'll give you a coming out party, a birthday party, a new name party, a new fucking whatever party. And you're doing all this hoopla, and it's confusing more kids. I think at every point...
They want to empower their feelings.
I think at every point of every normal person's life, or every being's life. I'm not going to say normal, because we're all normal. Even if you are gay, you're normal. Mm-hmm. But I think at one point in your life, you have a homosexual thought go through your head. Period.
I still do this day.
I do too.
I'm here right now.
No. But I mean, straight up.
Right.
Every dude, every female has had a homosexual... I'm looking at your ass. Whew, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Oh. But I think every point in everyone's life, they have a homosexual thought go through their head.
I'm having a homosexual thought right now.
And, it's your choice. Free will.
My body, my choice.
Yeah, 100%. So to sit here and say, be an alpha male, I ain't never fucking thought of no faggot shit.
I ain't pushing my shit in.
Oh wait, we're not supposed to say the F word no more. I ain't never thought of no gay shit. I give two fucks. Remember the whole Rogan skit? But I don't care. I don't care, and I'll say,
I'm gay.
I'm sure.
I'm queer. I'm here.
Yeah, I've been out of the closet. My wife knows.
Yeah.
We stay married for the benefits.
Yeah, tax write-offs.
No, taxes are fucking me now.
I'm out of this bitch.
So yeah, we're getting a divorce and we need to.
I'm taking,
Hold
dude.
my hand.
I am taking.
What? You're gonna stay with Missy and miss
No.
up on all this?
Dude, if you got some titties, we might have to work out a deal. No, I want no A cups.
I got man boobs.
Moobs.
Moobs. But
No, but to summarize what I was talking about
Yeah.
with my sister-in-laws, I love them to death by all means. I really do.
yeah, I have a problem with normalizing it to kids too.
And so I was torn between that, and ultimately I accepted it, and I still accept it 100% today. And then I sat back and thought about it over time, because what we were going to end up doing was we went to Germany. They went with, and that's where Abigail got baptized at the same church I was baptized, and my whole family was,
And my kids.
and your kids also. And I was thinking about, I said, at the end of the day, I said, who we're signing our kids off to look over them, you know, if at some point in time in our life that we're no longer here to do so, we're putting responsibility in someone's hands that we feel that will ingrain the trust, the love, and the upbringing that we see fit.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
And so I put in the thoughts. I think extremely highly of my in-laws, simply because of what morals they have, and I see how they raised their kids, my wife and my sister-in-law, and I see what kind of people they are, and I read between the lines on both of them, more so on my in-laws or my sister-in-law, because I don't spend time with her. I know my wife in and out. I think I do, and I was like, ultimately, I know how they were brought up. I know what they stand for morally and so on. Putting aside what their sexual orientation is, and I just looked at the cold hard facts, and I was like, I approve of this.
Yeah.
And that's why I summarized it too. I was like, I need to quit focusing so much on that. That is a big aspect,
Right.
and in a sense, it does slightly bother me if I died on the way home today and Missy had a heart attack later today, that she would end up having to raise Abigail.
Right.
But that it would be normalized.
Well, but
It's hard for me to put in words.
But they're different.
How I feel.
They're different. I mean, yeah, it would be normalized to one aspect, but not like today how they are normalizing it. You know what I'm saying? So they would probably still, yeah, like most kids have a mommy and a daddy. You know what I'm saying? And openly talk about that. When you've got parents now that's like, mommies and daddies are overrated. 2 mommies are better. You know what I mean? And that's bullshit, because you're putting your own biased ass opinion in this kid's head. That's one thing, like with race, with religion, I don't try and shove anything into my kids. I don't. They're going to learn by watching me, obviously. And 2, I leave it open for them. I've told every one of them, if you ever come to me and say, I'm gay, I'm not going to approve 100% because I can't. I'm that person. But I'm going to love you regardless, and for the rest of your fucking life, no matter. One of my kids commit murder. They straight up murder someone. Like that fucking article you sent me, the motherfucker stabbing a cheerleader 100 and some odd fucking times.
Yeah.
If one of my kids do that, I'm going to love them unconditionally, even though I know they're a monster and they need to be fucking put down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is not something or someone we need on this planet, period. How in the fuck can you stab someone 140, over 100 fucking times, unless that is a monster? If it was a pedophile, I could do that. You know, pedophilia, they're trying to normalize that and make it a mental thing. No,
disease.
It is a disease. It's called evil. We need to eradicate it. No, I'm not condoning violence. God, I'm gonna get us canceled. But that's my standpoint on it. They are not the type to try and persuade and manipulate. Good word. If you're gonna be real, 100%, I don't care. And that's what I
Or
like.
how about the story of the two dads in Atlanta pimping their kids out?
What?
Have you not seen that?
No, those two dudes need to be dead.
Yeah. So, what, 2 weeks ago, I think now? I thought I shared it with you.
I condone that violence. Fuck it, we're canceled.
Yeah. So, two gay men in the Atlanta metropolitan area. I don't know what city they're from. Either way, two gay men. I'll have to pull this fucking photo up. They adopted two people, and this is another issue I have is with
sick.
gay women. Not so much gay men. There's more evil, I believe, in the male sex aspect. Yes, there's evil women out there, but I think it's more widespread with the male.
Because they have a penis.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to fucking. I honestly think a lot of the decisions we make on a regular basis date back to the beginning of time.
Yeah.
That we oversimplify things and we just dumb it down in the male aspect. But either way, they adopted two kids. They were, I want to say, less than 10 years old, and I forgot the details behind the exact story. But either way, at some point in time, they went to school. They saw markings on the body. They investigated it, and it turns out that they were basically pimping their kids out to these sex rings, orgies, whatever, and also have them perform sexual acts on them.
On each other or the parents?
Probably everything. Dude,
use
your imagination.
Yeah, but it doesn't fucking matter. Any of it's fucked up, man. And that, I don't know. Kids, that just infuriates me.
That made me sick.
Yeah, it infuriates me.
But you don't see that blasted across the...
No,
you haven't
don't.
seen it?
No.
That's what the fuck is wrong.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing like the fucking cops in Tennessee. That hadn't been blasted all over, headlining everywhere.
See, look at these motherfuckers right here.
Yeah, that's them. See, that's bullshit. Love my family.
Yeah. And obviously you won't see it on the camera. Maybe Shaun, I'll send him a screenshot. These two kids, they look less than 10 years old. Yeah, two young boys. Two white gay males adopted two kids. Maybe they started off with good intentions. They want to be parents and love them and whatever. But the fact is that if this is happening here,
start with good
this is probably
and go
happening.
That far.
Yeah, so they got caught.
Yeah.
You could almost guarantee that this is happening in every state, in every country, in
100%.
in all parts of the world.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's evil. That's pure evil right there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to end the podcast on a fucking negative note, but I just want to bring that up. That I could have sworn I shared it to you, but I guess I didn't. But no, it's terrible, and things like that make me second guess just stupid shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, it all goes on the individual. And if it was my kids and my uncle, as long as I knew he's going to talk about what normal is, and I know he would, you know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't give a fuck. But someone like that, they got those kids wearing those rainbow, love my family, you know, you're already pushing them in that direction. Mm-hmm. So the kids are going to grow.
They're grooming you.
Yeah, they're grooming you to be a gay person. That's bullshit.
But the way it would be worded is I want them to be open about
whatever. I want them to, I'm accepting to whatever they're going to choose. Yeah. But they're choosing, they're going to choose what you're fucking pushing them into.
What is normalized in their household is what's going to be normalized outside the household.
Right. So, you know, as far as it goes, like I said, I don't have a problem. Like Charlene jokes all the time when I see, and I don't care if it's two girls. When I see she watches TV shows. I'll see anywhere from 3 minutes to an hour of it before I go to sleep. I don't really give a shit about the show, but every one of them has someone gay in it. Mm-hmm. Every one. And then a commercial comes on, and someone gay.
HIV pills.
I don't give a shit if it's, Coca-Cola. I mean, just these regular-ass companies. But I don't give a shit if it's two males, two females. I don't want to see it. I look away. Most dudes and...
So it still bothers you that much, though? With it being publicized?
I just don't want to see it. I'm overexposed to it. I'm tired of seeing it. That's what my problem is, and that's why I look away. Because I'm so tired of seeing it. because it's in everything now, and they're trying to normalize it so much. And they're like,
I feel like they're pushing it on
yeah,
us.
they're like, you just
forcing it.
didn't realize how many people are actually gay. No,
No, we were aware.
we were aware growing up. I don't think there's that many actually gay. I think more are being pushed into it's normalized, and we are normalizing something that's not normal. So more people are trying to, like, one of the people at the chiropractic office, she just went back straight. We know girls that was married and then went gay.
Now went back and forth.
Yeah. So
I've known that for guys and girls.
yeah, okay. I've known.
They tried it out.
Yeah,
Try before you buy, and then like, okay, I'm not gonna buy.
But what attracted you to that? Maybe it was that one individual. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it was because you were in some
A certain
kind
group.
But nowadays, it's way more, and it's okay for dudes in high school. Be like, yeah, I finger banged his ass the other night. I don't know.
And that rolls into the whole technology thing and my kids.
Yeah.
Obviously, they if they have access to the internet, they could see everything under the sun that's ever been done to anybody. And that's not what I'm focusing on.
There are ways to block that.
Yeah, there are ways to block it, but at the end of the day, when they're not around you, they have
Full
unlimited
access.
resource.
Yeah.
Especially with other friends, because she tells me stories. I'm sure you have over the years of schools that your kids have been in.
Yeah.
Oh, Tommy told me fucking that he walked in his parents' house and found a fucking double-ended dildo the size of a monster truck, and it was up his uncle's ass,
and his dad was on the other end of it.
Have you noticed that we got those sound effects down perfect?
No.
Maybe it's just you. But no, so, yeah, long story short, I love you, Angie and Amy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Great people. We went really...
But that was something, I don't think I've never mentioned it to them just because it was never a topic.
We went really sidetracked on the whole point of your kids having phones.
Yeah, and it's just, this is the way the podcast goes,
yeah,
people.
Exactly. No shit.
No script, no nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even gone over none of this shit. Well, one thing.
What do we got here?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll leave that.
Leave that for next
because
time.
that's going to be a long conversation.
Okay.
For sure. But
have you got any emails from any listeners?
No new emails.
You a-holes.
Before last week, I told us that we were already in UK. That was our 9th country. I haven't looked this week.
Are we in China? China.
No, we are not in China.
Spy balloon ain't worried about us.
Taiwan. We're in Taiwan.
They're probably, hey, look, they're using the mics we made.
Yeah.
They work great, guys. Thanks.
Yeah. Update. My house. I'm fucking get back in the
Sean's an expert
again.
door installer. If you need doors installed in your local area,
Shut up.
call Bagby Doors.
No. Yeah, it was a joke.
No, it wasn't.
But, huh? Bitch.
I'll leave your number. I'll tag him in the comments.
No, but I'm empty. I've been empty.
Well, good. It's a good time to wrap it up.
Yeah, it is. So, what did I need to put a link to? That fucking...
BagbyDoors.com.
Oh, fuck you, bitch. That tree oil shit for your feet. Wash your feet. So, I gotta remember to put that.
We'll start a OnlyFans for Shaun rubbing my feet.
Yeah.
That's how we're to make money, because we ain't making shit off sponsors on this.
Natural tree oil and
Go ahead and
peppermint.
do it now. We'll just do it.
Yeah, and peppermint.
Oh, yeah. My grandpa socks.
But yeah, so anyways, we'll also put the email address on here again. If you feel froggy and want to send us an email and tell us to get fucked or we're stupid or any kind of feedback.
Quit gay hating, quit Ukraine hating, quit.
A buddy of mine did give me some feedback and said we're stupid, and that's why he listens. Now, he said we're very entertaining. He knows me personally, so that
makes it funny.
That's a little more
connection,
personable, for him. And
dude, this lint's getting worse.
He said,
not to cut you off.
He said he loves the banter between me and you. Very entertaining. And that was kind of where you sold me on this, because you were like, you know, we're always talking, having good conversation, we have good dialogue. He said bouncing shit back and forth off each other, but we joke around a lot, and it makes it funny and cuts it up. I think it would be entertaining to other people, the fact that we're talking about serious things, but we joke about it and make light of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of hence the name and everything else. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're having fun with it.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah.
Shaun's about to come down off his caffeine high in about 10 seconds flat, and he'll be asleep. That's gonna be Shaun. Yeah, but Shaun's a trooper, though. I'll give him that.
All right.
And hopefully one day his fucking kids will recognize the shit that he goes through, him and Charlene. For all you little assholes.
Maybe.
Including mine.
Maybe.
And I always get, like, when I tell people when I'm in, I guess, gatherings of people that aren't familiar with my attitude and the way I look at life and just my unseriousness all the time, is I always call my little kids cunts and assholes and fuckers and this and that. And they're like, how can you call your kid a cunt? And I'm like, because she can be a cunt sometimes. That's why.
See,
well, that's not right. And I'm like, but it's all jokingly. It's just me calling them little assholes. Like,
right.
She was an asshole today. She did something. She mouthed back to me.
Right.
I don't call her a cunt to her face.
Right.
She's not 14 yet.
Yeah. But it's the same thing as saying a punk.
Yeah.
You're just using a
I
different
use different words.
Yeah. And
I use stuff to get a response out of you, because if I don't know you and I'm talking to you and I call my kid a cunt and you're like, oh my God. Yeah. It's more or less just shock value. It's just entertaining. I want to get a little rise out of you.
Yeah. You always get a little rise out of me.
Very little.
Yeah.
But it was a good conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now you can go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go home and get back to work.
Hell yeah.
Work on me house. So that's it, folks. And thank you for listening to Sarcastically Serious.
And have a good day.
This is our muffled version.
And have a good day.
Goodbye. You have mail. See y'all.
Peace. I got the last word, bitch.
Fuck y'all.